Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be starting a series about setting up and configuring Kubernetes cluster in Proxmox. We won't be using any automation scripts so that you can learn all of the commands in a pretty straightforward way. All of the commands are also listed in the description. In this series we will cover the setting up of one control plane node and one worker node. And then we will test the cluster by deploying some applications and a load balancer so that you can reach all of the applications on dedicated IPs. This episode will cover the creation of the Cloud-init template that we will be using to deploy our VMs. So let's get into that. So we're going to go to where we store our VMs. In my case, it's on local. Then we're going to go to the Cloud Images Ubuntu website. We're looking for the latest version, so we're going to go with Noble. Put current and look for the QEMU bootable image disk. That in my case, I will be using the AMD 64. Copy and paste that, query the URL, and hit download. Now that it's done, we're going to go to the shell and actually configure the VM. So I'm going to be using the commands I have on the website. Keep in mind that you need to alter these to fit your environment. So by starting, give the VM an ID number. We're going to be giving it 2 gigs of memory, 2 cores. We're just naming it Ubuntu Cloud, Noble, and setting the correct network bridge. In my case, I'm using network bridge 2. In your case, it may vary. You need to check your configuration. Now that's done, we're going to head over into the ISO folder on the machine. Double check, Noble is there. And we're going to import this disk into the VM that we just created. Keep in mind, you need to change this to where you store your VMs. For me, I set it up on ZFS01. Once this is done, we're going to go ahead and mount boot disk. And then we're going to create a CD drive. As you can see, it created one. We're going to set the boot to the disk we previously created. And we're going to also create a serial connection so that you can easily SSH here into it. Okay, now we're going to head over to the machine that we just created, which is here. And we're going to start by going over the hardware. In the memory section, we need to go in and turn off ballooning device and leave the rest as is. Then we head over to the Cloud-init settings, where we give it a username and a password, of course. We look at upgrade packages. This is yes, so the initiation will automatically check for all the new packages for our OS. And then we look at network. Keep in mind here, this will be a template. So if you set a static IP address, you always need to go back to those new VMs and change this to an appropriate IP. Okay. And for the SSH key, for the simplicity, we will use the root SSH from the Proxmox, but you can of course generate your own keys. But let's have a look at how to do that. So we're going to cat root SSH ID RSA public key. Copy this. Go back to our VM. Cloud-init SSH key. Okay. And we're done. Now, do not start this VM, because what we want to do is right-click on it, convert to template. Yes. Now we also want to copy over the SSH key to our Windows client that we will be working from. So the easiest way is to SSH into the machine right now and copy over the file. I'll demonstrate. If you try to SSH into the machine, you will be prompted with username and password. So we go root at our Proxmox instance. There we go. Let's exit that. So what we'll do is scp root our Proxmox server SSH, and we want the ID RSA file. We're going to copy it over to our local user, in my case Jake, and our SSH folder. SSH. Prompted for password. There. We have the file. And you can now verify this by SSHing again into the Proxmox machine, and you will see how it looks. So we go. We're in. No more prompting for password. And this will be the case for our future VMs as well. Now that we have our template configured, we are ready to move to part 2, where we will start deploying the VMs and configuring the Kubernetes cluster. As a reminder, all the commands are in the description, so you can follow along. I hope you guys learned something. Have a good day.